ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्म विद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च संबंध भाष्यम of mantra number 16, starting from nirasta ashesha. nirasta ashesha
निरस्त अशेष
vishesha
विशेष
व्यापि ब्रह्मात्म प्रतिपत्या
व्यापि ब्रह्मात्म प्रतिपत्या
प्रभिन्न समस्त
प्रभिन्न समस्त
अविद्यादि ग्रंथेः
अविद्यादि ग्रन्थेः
जीवतः एव
जीवतः एव
ब्रह्मभूतस्य
ब्रह्मभूतस्य
विदुषः
विदुषः
न गतिः विद्यते
न गतिः विद्यते
अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते
अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते
इति उक्तत्वात्
इति उक्तत्वात्
न तस्य प्राणाः उत्क्रामन्ति
न तस्य प्राणाः उत्क्रामन्ति
ब्रह्म एव सन्
ब्रह्म एव सन्
ब्रह्म अप्येति
ब्रह्म अप्येति
इति श्रुत्यन्तरात् च.
इति श्रुत्यन्तराश्च.
Good. So this we had completed in the last class. So we saw that mantra number 15 has the hetu for mantra number 14, namely that yada sarve hridayasya iha granthayaha prabhidyante, all these avidyadi pratyayaha, all these wrong conclusions, when they are all gone, okay, when they are all gone, then number 14, kamaha ye asya hridishritaha, all those binding desires that are there, whose fulfillment used to be a must for the person, but now every desire is is a what do you call garnish. Garnish means what? You can garnish all your dishes and consume them, or if the garnish is not there, what will happen? You will not consume the food? No, you'll still consume the food. Garnish is not there, that's all. And so like that it becomes, everything becomes a garnish. And so tada sarve kamaha hridishritaha te pramuchyante, and then martyaha amritaha bhavati. This much we saw. Now Shankaracharya is giving a big introduction to the next mantra, because the next mantra is talking about Saguna Brahma Vidya, whereas the main teaching of Upanishad is Nirguna Brahma Vidya. When we say Brahma Vidya, both Jnanam Vijnanam, Jnanam Teham Sa Vijnanam is there. But primarily that Vijnanam is the topic of Upanishad Saguna Vidya, we are not so interested in. How Bhagavan gives all the karma phala to various beings, and what kind of karma will give what kind of karma phala. Those are all details. That is all. It comes under what? Saguna Brahma Vidya. Because the law of cause and effect. Entire science is the study of cause and effect. Entire science. Because there is a cause, there is an effect. Because that law can be figured out by the human mind. Once the guy figures it out, then that guy may be very happy. But then there are companies that want to make money out of. Why money? Because that law is unchanging, and that law can be used for profit. But like that, in the world of Ishvara also, you can use the same laws are there, but you need Shastram for that. That is called Saguna Brahma Vidya. Which Ishta Devata must be worshipped for curing which kind of diseases. Yeah, that's all there. It's very big, it's all there. So that is one time. Now, therefore, this mantra is going to talk like that. We're going to talk about going to a loka, Brahma loka. Brahma loka gati is going to talk about. So far in the Upanishad, there was no description of that. Okay. And so the introduction is given. What was said in this, what we just read, he is talking about Nirasta Ashecha Vishesha Vyapi Brahmatma Pratipatya. By the knowledge of that Brahma, which is Vyapi, Sarva Vyapi, all pervasive. Yesterday we saw in the class, what is all pervasive cannot have a form. What has a form cannot be all pervasive. Form and pervasiveness don't go together at all. The minute you say something, you define the shape of something, then you have finitized it. And so, Vyapi, and therefore, Nirasta Ashesha Vishesha. Vishesha means all attributes. Ashesha, Nirasta, all attributes being negated for that Brahma. A Brahma which has no attributes. Nirgunam ityartaha. So, Nirguna Brahma Pratipatya, Nirguna Brahma Jnane. Okay. What happens? Atra Brahma Samashnute, and then Natasya Pranaha Utkramanti. There is no longer Punarjanma for that person. Pranaha Utkramanti. The idea that the Sukshma Shariram of the person departs the body and takes off. Takes off for its next birth. It can happen instantaneously or it can happen after some time. And that after some time, in theory, can be a long time. But what we say, in 3 generations, you assume that for 3 generations also that jiva has not gained a body. That is why we do shraddha for 3 generations. 3 generations. So, but here, tasya pranaha na utkraman. This guy Sukshma Sharira doesn't go anywhere. Therefore, nobody has to do any shraddham for this person. In any case, sannyasi, therefore, all relationships are snapped. Nobody can do shraddham also. Okay. So, he's saying, this is what we've been studying in the Upanishad all along. Okay. That moksha, jivan, mukti and all, when you say that's what it is. But then, now he's going to tell little more. Let's read the next part of the Bhaashyam, Sambandha Bhaashyam. Ye punaha
ये पुनः
manda brahma vidaha
मंद ब्रह्मविदः
विद्यांतरशीलिनः च
विद्यान्तरशीलिनः च
ब्रह्मलोकभाजः
ब्रह्मलोकभाजः
ये च तद्विपरीताः
ये च तद्विपरीताः
संसारभाजः
संसारभाजः
तेषाम् एव तेषाम् एव
तेषाम् एव
गतिविशेषः उच्यते
गतिविशेषः उच्यते
प्रकृत
प्रकृत
Utkrishta Brahma Vidya
Utkrishta Brahma Vidya
Palastutaye.
Alastutaye.
Yeah. Now he's introducing the next mantra. Yeah, Maheshi, what's up?
It is in this PDF, it is Tesham Esha.
Okay, Tesham, Yesha. Fair enough. Yesha or Eva. Both are will give the same meaning. We'll see that. Okay. So ye punah. On punah here means on the other hand. On the other hand. Ye punah. Those people who are Manda Brahma Vidaha. Okay, we know Nirgunam Brahma, we know Sagunam Brahma. Suddenly he is saying Manda Brahma Vidaha. Brahma with knower of Brahman. Brahma Vidaha, plural, knowers of Brahma. And here, knowers of what kind of Brahma? Manda Brahma. Mandam has only one meaning here also. Mandam is, okay, everybody with me so far? Okay. Number 16 in Gita Press, page number 151. And in your PDF file, page number 71, middle of the page. Okay, all this I wrote down. Last week itself I wrote down. And because I don't have the PDF in front of me. So I hope we are on the right. Because I'm reading something, you're looking at something else, and then kuch na kuch hoga, at least punyam we are going to get by listening to some Sanskrit words. No, that's not the way to study Shastra. So, anyway, so Manda Brahma Vidaha means people who are knowers of Manda Brahma means Sagunam Brahma. God, what an atrocity this is. Sagunam Brahma is Manda Brahma. Mandam, dull Brahma he is. What kind of language Shankara is using? Shankara is using a brilliant language. He's saying this Brahma, Sagunam Brahma, is useful for us. But if you get carried away by karma only, then you will use Sagunam Brahma to get Artha and Kama only. Maximum Dharma also you will get, some Punyam will get. And Punyam you get, then what will happen? That Punyam will take you to another loka. And then you like Punyam. Yes, I like Punyam. Therefore, I will go after Sagunam Brahma. Only Sagunam Brahma can give me Punyam. Ishvara only, Bhagavan only can give me Punyam. And therefore, this guy is going to keep on make me travel. Moksha is nowhere in the picture, and therefore it is called Manda Brahma, dull Brahma. How did I translate it? Those who are slow in gaining Brahma Vidya. That is how I've written here. Saguna Brahma Upasakaha. Saguna Brahma. Worshippers of Saguna Brahma. Worshippers of Ishta Devata. Okay, basically, that's what it is. All the Devatas we know. Okay, they're all called. So they're all Manda Brahma. And those devotees of such Ishvaras, such Devatas are called Manda Brahma Vidaha. So for them, Jiva and Ishvara are separate. Separation is there means this is how maximum, this is all we can get. Until we say, no, I want to use the separation for me to get Antakarana Shuddhi so that I recognize the truth of Jiveshvara, which is Abheda. Yeah, that is how our approach is. So that is why these people are called Manda Brahma Vidaha. And then, so they are, in this case, in this context, they are called, they can be either Saguna Brahma, worshippers of Ishta Devatas, or they can be Upasakas. Upasanam is another way of worship. They are all Dhyayis, they are doing Dhyanam. Dhyanam of Ishvara. Dhyanam of Ishvara, either Nishkama Dhyanam or Sakama Dhyanam. I'm doing Dhyanam so I can get more Artha and more Kama. Like our Nachiketa's father is not an ordinary guy. He's done so much. Yaga, tapas he also has done. But for him, the goal is clear. Dharma is there, artha is there, kama is there. Moksha is not in sight for the father. And so, he is also a Manda Brahmavid. All right. So, for these kinds of people, Manda Brahmavidaha. And then he's saying, Cha, Vidyantara Shilinaha Cha. Vidyantara Shilinaha. Shili means one who is adept at, one who is endowed with, one for whom it is natural. What is natural? Vidyantara. Vidyantara. Like, for example, um, Pakashili. What is Pakashili? Pakashala, I know. Kitchen is Pakashala. Place of cooking is Pakashala. But Pakashili, one for whom cooking is natural, comes naturally. But Pakashili. So like that, any action you can put there and put Shili or Shilini. Okay, so then it becomes, that's the meaning. So Lekhana Shili, if you say Lekhana Shili, one for whom writing is natural, naturally comes. Language, one who is an expert in language is called language. So here, Vidyantara Shili, Vidya Shili, knowledge, one who has knowledge. Knowledge is natural. Vidyantara. So here, there is the word Vidya in our Vedanta Shastram means two things. I told you this before. One is Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya. Another meaning is Upasanam. Upasanam is also called Vidya. Vidya. Upasanam means Dhyanam, Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam, if you say Nididhyasanam after Shravanam Mananam will take me to moksha. Okay. But here, in this case, Upasanam of Saguna Brahma, with the goal of Artha, Kama, and Dharma only. Okay. Those Upasakas are called, and that Upasanam is called Vidya. Such Upasakas are called Vidya Shilinaha, but Vidyantara Shilinaha. Other Upasanams also. Okay, other Upasanams means what Upasanam I talked about? This Manta Brahma Vidaha. They are the Upasakas of Sagunam Brahma who want to go to Brahma Loka, within brackets, you have to want to go to Brahma Loka because they are so good. They know that Brahma Loka is the highest. So why not go there? Why look for any other Loka? It's foolish to do Upasanam of anything else. So they're targeting Brahma Loka. Okay, so they are also called Brahma, Manda Brahma Vidaha. But then there is another one, Vidyantara Shilinaha, means Upasanas, which will take me to other lokas, also better lokas. Between Bhuloka and Satyaloka, there are so many lokas. So, such people also, and here Swamiji mentions Panchagni Vidya. Panchagni Vidya. Okay. So there is so much in this world of Upasana. So much is there. And Upanishads also mentions periodically Chandogya, there is mentioned Taittiriya, there is mentioned all kinds of Vidyas are mentioned. Okay. And Shankara is going to tell us why Yama is mentioning like this. When the main topic is Brahma Vidya, why are you talking about this kind of Upasana? Okay. He will say it shortly. Okay. Vidyantara Shilinaha. Then Brahma Loka Bhajaha. These people are Brahma Loka Bhajaha. Brahma Loka Bhajaha, these people want to go to Brahma Loka. What is this Bhajaha? What is Bhaji and all you're talking about? Hey, Bhajaha is not new to you. Why do I say it's not new to you? Because Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhak. Dukkha Bhak. Kabak, that is singular. Bhajaha is plural. What is dukkha bhak? Bhavet. Hey, dukkha bhak means for one for whom dukkha is natural is dukkha bhak. Okay. One who is holding on to dukkha is called dukkha bhak. Ma kaschit dukkha bhak bhavet. Let nobody be. Sorrow will come and go. Let it just come and go. Let it not stick to the person. That is what we are saying. Dukkha bhak. Ma kaschit. No. Nobody should have dukkha only. It's not like that. That is a prayer there. So here also. Brahma loka bhak. Brahma loka bhaja. Plural. Bhak bhaja. Bhak bhajau bhajaha. So it goes. So here also, Brahma Loka Bhajaha. People for whom they're naturally thinking about Brahma Loka. They work towards going to Brahma. That is how it is. So they've been working on it for a long time. Okay. And so that Sanskrit students, Jakaranta Pullingam. Jakaranta Pullingam. Bhaj will become Bhak in the Ekavachanam. Then Bhajau Bhaja. Like Vanij, Jakaranta Pullinga, Vanij. Recently, we saw the word Vanij. Where did we see?
Bhagavad Gita.
Krishi Goraksha Vanijya.
Yes.
Very good. Krishi Gauraksha Vanijyam. Okay. What happened? That Vanijyam means what? Vanijaha Bhava. The status of being a Vanij means trader. So the status of being a trader is called Vanijyam. Okay. So Vanij, there we saw the word Vanij. So Vanij is trader. Vanijyam is trader. Trade. We saw that last. Just
தமிழ்ல கூட இருக்கு வணிகம் வணிகம் வணிகன் வணிகம்
in Tamil it is there.
தமிழ் also.
Vanikam. See that? Vanikam. Vanikam is trader. Guy who businessman. It's called a Vanikam. Good. Vanik. So that same thing. So you should not be surprised by this word. Bhajaha. Bhojanat. Okay, that is Prak. There also it is. Okay, that's different. Anyway, Vanij. All right. So Brahma Loka Bhajaha. These people who love, they're working hard to go to Brahma Loka. Yecha tad viparitaha. Further, there are other people also. Brahmaloka people also are there. And tad viparitaha. Those who don't know of Brahmaloka or are not capable of going to Brahmaloka are not interested in going to Brahmaloka. Tad viparitaha. Okay. And which means what? Which means pretty much everybody else. Everybody else. Okay. Everybody else who's just living a life, or who are devotees and they're doing their own puja prarthana adi. They don't know much about moksha and all that. Okay. Neither they are targeting one particular loka and all that. They may be nice people also. Okay. And so tad viparitaha yecha. For them also. Who are what? Samsara bhajaha. Samsara bhaja. See, he is taking out that Brahmaloka Bhajaha separate category Shankara is putting. Because for them, moksha is possible. In the next Brahmaloka, moksha is high chance is there for moksha. Therefore, he is categorizing it separately. Then everybody else is a samsara bhajaha. Means who are, now you should be able to explain bhak, you know the meaning of bhak, and therefore samsara bhajaha. Who are stuck to samsara. For whom they don't know anything other than samsara.
Kind of partnership with samsara.
So, all right, partnership with samsara. And so, samsara bhajaha, what happens to them? We saw that. We saw in Bhagavad Gita, Shukla Krishna, you look up the mantra number 26, 8th chapter, 826, you may want to write this down. Because 8th chapter was an odd man out in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Because Prayana Kali and all he asked. Arjuna asked that question. At the time of death, what should I do? And so, Shukla Krishna Gati Hyete Jagata Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim, and then Anyaya Avartate Punaha. So he said there are two kinds of paths. One is Shukla Gati, another is Krishna Gati. Shukla Gati is what? Going to Brahmaloka is called Shukla Gati. Why are you told so? Special Gati is there. And there Brahmaloka, then Brahmaji will teach, because we are all looking for good teachers, And if you don't find a good teacher on earth, then you can pray for a good teacher next life. It can be Brahmaji also. That Gati is called Shukla Gati. And then Krishna Gati. Krishna Gati is any Gati where you go to a Loka and come back. Come back to this Martya Loka. You can go to Swarga and then come back also. That is called Krishna Gati. That's what he said in that Shloka 26. Ekaya yati anavrittim. From that Shukla Gati, there is anavritti, there is no return. Whereas Anyayatu avrittim, like that is. The other Krishna Gati, return to Loka will be there. Avartate punaha, it says that. So here, there's such kind of return-worthy people, samsara bhajaha. Punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam people. Okay, they're all samsara bhajaha. Tesham eva tesham yesha. Okay, tesham, for such people who are who are either going to go to Brahmaloka or going to some other loka, including this earth also, Bhuloka also, or Patala Loka, etc., any loka other than Brahmaloka. Okay. What about Jnani? What kind of Gati is there for Jnani?
No Gati.
No Gati, Agati. No Gati. Gatiye illa. We say Gatiye illa. Abhina, it's a dead end. Dead end. It's called Gatiye illa.
But Agati also means refuge.
Kya Gati?
Different meaning.
That is different. That Gati is different. But here, Agati. So, Gati nasti. Ananya prokte Gati ratra rasti. For a Jnani, there is no Gati. So here it's all, then Gati Visheshaha Uchyate. Tesham Yeshaha Gati Visheshaha Uchyate. For such people, Gati Visheshaha, that specific mention of Gati. Gati of what? Sukshma Shariram, after death. Uchyate. That is being said. That's being told. Asmin mantre. So, mantrottare, in the upcoming mantra, that is going to be said. Okay. What for it is said? To attract Vedanta students to Gati. To tell Vedanta students, guys, you've been studying all this Nirgunam Brahma all these months and years, and there is something better than that called Brahma Loka Gati, which is very attractive because you can go there and in Brahma Loka you can live. See, the minute you go to Brahma Loka, you'll end up living for a long time. Because such lokas are like that. Time scales are very different. And so, that's also very attractive, So, is that what? Is that the reason why Yama is going to mention about this Brahmaloka and all? No, not like that. Shankara is going to give you two reasons. He's going to give us two reasons why Yama is about to mention this travel type of moksha. Whether you call it moksha, I don't know. Travel. He's going to talk about travel. Okay. First reason is what? Prakrita Utkrishta Brahma Vidya Phalastutaye. Stutaye, for praising. Stuti is praise, So Stutaye, for the praise, for praising something. What does he want to praise? What does Yama want to praise? Brahma Vidya Phalam. Brahma Vidya Phalam, obviously. The result of Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya. And what kind of Brahma Vidya you should ask? Because Manda Brahma is there, Sakadam Brahma is there, Nirgunam Brahma is there, all these Brahmas are there. So what kind of Brahma? Utkrishta Brahma Vidya. Utkrishta Brahma Vidya. Utkrishta means most exalted, most desired, which is the opposite of Manda Brahma Vidya. That is why Shankara is using the word Utkrishta. opposite of Manda, Utkrishta. That Brahma Vidya, which is Prakritam. Prakritam means which is the topic of the entire Upanishad. All along, all these mantras, last so many months, we've been talking about that only. Prakrita Utkrishta Brahma Vidya Phala Stutaye, for praising the benefit of Brahma Vidya, Nirgunam Brahma Vidya. Okay? That's how to praise something. You can praise something by saying something else, which if you do, the result is not that good as this one. Therefore, that's one way of praising, obviously. So we give examples of people, accomplished people in the society, and say, if you work hard, you can become an IAS officer like this person. Like that, they say. We inspire students by doing that. If you do this kind of course, then you can become this kind of person like that person. Like that, if you say, then the person gets an idea of the advantage, superiority of studying some subject matter. So here also, Prakrita Utkrishta Brahma Vidya Phala Studaye. And so, because that Manda Brahma Vidya also is good in a way. Good in a way means Brahma, Loka, Gati is there. But that Gati is very difficult, because in that mantra, what was that shloka? In the Bhagavad Gita, Prayana Kale cha Katham. And he's already said it. Yeah, I got it. Shloka number 10 from the same 8th chapter. Okay. Prayana Kale Manasa Chalena. Okay. Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chaiva. Prayana Kali, at the time of passing away, when the person first of all has to recognize it is my last days are nearing. Okay. Prayana Kale. Achalena Manasa, by a mind that is steady. Mind that is steady. And then Bhaktya, keeping my bhakti steady, and my bhakti to my Ishtadevata is steady. Full swing it is. For me, nothing else matters at that time. Yoga balena chaiva. Yoga balena. So that is going to talk in the next mantra is going to come. So all this, I have to withdraw all my pranas. The entire Sukshma Sharira must be withdrawn and drawn to the Sushumna Nadi. There is a Nadi called Sushumna Nadi. And then I must be ready to push the prana out through the Sahasrara and through the Brahmarandra. It has to come out. This is the practice I have to do. Prayanakal. Already in the class itself, sitting properly, erect and all is a problem. Okay, Padmasana. Try. How many of us sit in Padmasana? That itself, we've forgotten what Padmasana is. If we know, then doing it is going to be next to impossible. If we do it, few seconds we can sit. Then afterwards, immediately the legs are hurt. And so sitting, it's like that we are. So how are you going to do yoga balena chaiva? And then bhruvor madhye prana maveshya samyak. That prana, I explained to you how. And so bhruvor madhye, you have to concentrate all the entire Sukma Sharira as though it is there in between the two eyebrows or eyebrows. Okay. And so that Krishna had mentioned it there. So Satam Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. That person is going to go to Brahmaloka. Okay. This is how it is. And therefore, he's mentioning that the difficulty of this is so much. And even if you succeed in doing it, you're going to go to Brahmaloka. Still, Mukti is not 100% guaranteed. So many ifs and buts are there. That's why he's saying here, Prakrita Utkrishta Brahma Vidya Studaye. That is one reason. One reason why Yama is mentioning this shloka. There is another shloka Swamiji quoted. There is a text called Mukunda Mala written by Kulashekara Alvar. one of the saints, poet saints of Tamil Nadu, Kulasekara Alvar. And you know what he says? Kundamala, it's in Sanskrit.
He was in Kerala, Kollam.
Kollam, Kerala. Okay. Kulasekara Alvar, Kerala.
Tiruvalla.
Tiruvalla. Okay. You know what he says? It's about Krishna. Krishna, he was a devotee of Rama and Krishna. And so, Prana Prayana Samaye, at the time of death, Kapha Vata Pittaihi Kantavarodhana Vidau Smaranam Kutahate. Hey, during the last days of my life, when my throat is choked with what? Kapha, Vata, and Pitta. Kapha, Vata. So don't ask me what is all. This all comes in Ayurveda. So kapam is Prithvi and Jala Tattvam together forms kapam, mucus. So kapam. And then pittam. Pittam is again this Jala Tattvam and Agni Tattvam together is called pittam. And then Akasha and Vayu is called Vata. So there is all this Tridosha balance and all is there. That guy has been working for balance all lifelong, and then last minute, where is it's all? Everything is imbalanced. Everything is going out of kilter, and so that is what he's saying. When this is what is happening, my Vata, Pata, Pitta, and Kappa is going to be totally out of balance. Then Smaranam Kutahate. Where is the question of remembering you at that time? Was it like that? He himself is saying. Kulasekara Alvar is saying, and so that is the problem with this Saguna Brahma Vidya. That is why it's called Manda Brahma Vidya. And then that is why this one in chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, after talking about chapter 8, then chapter 9, the second sloka, he says, Raja Vidya Raja Gukhyam. Okay. Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. On the other hand, this Raja Vidya is there, which is Nirguna Brahma Vidya. Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Means that moksha that you want is so easy with this Nirguna Brahma Vidya. Like that, Krishna himself had said, the 9th chapter. So those are good shlokas to recall in this discussion. Okay. Then there is Tattva Bodha also we studied. Swamiji reminded us of this Tattva Bodha. In Tattva Bodha, towards the end, you know what he says? He says, Tanum Tyajatu va Kashyam Swapachasya Grihe Athava. Says, for a guy who got moksha, Jivan Muktihi, whether the guy dies in Kashi, Kashyam, Tanum Tyajatu va Swapachasya Grihetava, or he died in the house of a dog eater. Dog eater. This dog eater, we can't forget because Krishna himself mentioned it. Swapake and all he said somewhere in between. Because Samadarshinaha and all comes, So there we saw Swapaka. So whether this guy dies in Kashi or she dies in Swapakasya Grihe or Swapachasya Grihe, how does it matter? Jnana Prapti Samaye Muktaha Aso Vigatashayah. All desires are gone. Desire to be something is gone completely. So where is the question of wanting to die at any place, etc.? It doesn't matter. And so for that reason, and then one more reason Shankara will tell, which we are going to read now. Kincha. You could have guessed it, but we will see. If you did not guess, we'll see what that is. Kincha.
Kincha.
Anyat.
Anyad.
Agni Vidya.
Agni Vidya.
Prishta.
Prushta.
Pratyukta cha.
Pratyukta cha.
Tasyaha cha.
Tasyaha cha.
Phala prapti prakaraha.
फलप्राप्तिप्रकारः
वक्तव्यः इति
वक्तव्यः इति
मन्त्रारम्भः
मन्त्रारम्भः
तत्र.
तत्र.
Yeah, that completes the Sambandha Bhashya. Kincha, furthermore, he's telling another reason why Yama is talking about this particular Vidya, this Brahma, Loka, Prapti Vidya, Saguna Brahma Vidya, Manda Brahma Vidya. Kincha, Anyat, Anyat means another reason. Anyat Karanam Asti. And what is that? This Agni Vidya Prishta. Prishta means asked, was asked, called Prishta. Agni Vidya. What was asked? Agni Vidya was asked. Agni Vidya. Agni Vidya means there is a Vaidika karma there. And Homa is asked for. The Yaga was asked for. What kind of Yaga? You have to put in brackets. Nachiketa Agni Vidya Prishta. Nachiketasa Prishta. Obviously, it was asked by Nachiketas. Agni Vidya Prishta. Then you should not ask, you should not say what, when, why, and all that. When did this happen? You might ask because it's been a long time, Our study is taking long. What can I do about it? That's how it is. So, second boon. Okay, second boon. If I ask you to recall, then what will you say? Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti na tatratvam na jaya bibheti. Na tatratvam na jaya bibheti. And then, yeah, keep it handy. Keep it handy. And then, see, you should have a page where you can look up all these things. तत्रत्वं जरया बिभेति उभे तीर्त्वा अशनाया पिपासे स्वर्गे लोके शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके. Very simple. He is very clear. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanast. In Swarga, there is no such thing called fear. Okay. And then, na tatratvam. Neither do you exist in Swarga. You are not there. Swarga is free of Yama. Okay. Na jaraya bibeti. There is no fear of old age also. So, Chiketa is telling Yama what Swarga is, as though Yama doesn't know all these things. No. Chiketa is saying, people know all these things, not just me. People in back on earth, they know all these things. Ube tirtva ashanaya pipase. Okay. Ube tirtva ashana. Ashana means hunger. Pipasa is thirst. Pipasa, hunger and thirst also is not there. It seems in Swarga. That is why people want to go there. And so, Shokadigo modate Swarga. Shokadigo, even sorrow is not there. Is it? Sorrow is not there? Really? Did I hear that right? Yes. Shokadiga. Therefore, what? Modate Swargaloke. That was the second boon that Nachiketa asked for. Therefore, Shankara is saying, Agni Vidya Prishta. He was asked for that Vidya, that, here again, so look at the meaning of Vidya here. Knowledge of that particular Yaga, Agni Karma. Agni Karma Vidya. Nachiketa Agni Karma Vidya Prishta was asked for. Pratyukta cha. Pratyukta. Ukta means told. Pratyukta replied. The question was replied to. By Yama, of course. Yamena. Nachiketa sa Prishta. Yamena Pratyukta cha. Was replied very well also. And Yama was very happy, remember, with our Nachiketas. They say when you dictate a phone number to somebody, how do you know? They write, yeah, okay, and then they'll keep the phone down. Sometimes you have to say, can you repeat that number? Can I confirm that you got it right? Because you have to get it right. One digit gone this way, that way, then that's a useless communication. And so Yama was very happy with Nachiketa's repetition of that entire Vidya. We saw all that before. Then, and along with the Vidya, along with the Agni Karma, there is an Agni Upasanam also that was taught. It's called Virat Upasanam. Visualizing Virat, which means the Samasti, Stula Shariram, the entire universe as a gross universe. Visualize that gross universe on this Agni. while Agni is burning in the yaga, in the yagashala. So not only do the karma, you can do the karma and walk away, but if you do the Virat Upasana also, then Brahma Loka is guaranteed. Okay, and so that was also mentioned by Yamadharmaraja. Therefore, tasyaha cha phala prapti prakaraha vaktavyaha. The Yama sometimes has to mention the result of that karma also. Okay, that karma was talked about, and then before leaving this Kathopanishad, we have to mention it. Vaktavyaha must be talked about. Okay, phalaprapti prakaraha tasyaha, that Agni and Upasana Vidya phalam, and how do you, that phalam prapti, gaining of that phalam, the methodology of gaining that phalam also must be talked about. Okay, iti mantrarambha. For those, iti here means what? Hetau. Iti, hetau. For those two reasons. Okay, for those two reasons. Hetuho, hetuoho. Two reasons. What is the first reason? First reason is to praise Vidya Phalastutaye. To praise the Nirguna Brahma Vidya, we talk about Saguna Brahma Vidya. Talking about how difficult it is, talking about this Punarapi Janam, Punarapi Maranam, everything. If you hear, it should give me some Vairagyam and then make me go towards Nirguna Brahma Vidya. For that reason also, that is number one. And number two, the fact that Nachiketa asked for it. For that reason also. Iti, that is the meaning of the word iti there. Iti, mantrarambha. 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 The next mantra is going to start. Is being started. Like that also you can say. Okay.
This pratyuktaha, Guruji.
Pratyukta. Pratyukta means replied to. By Yama, that question was replied to also. That is the meaning of pratyukta. Prishta means asked. Asked by Nachiketa within brackets. Pratyukta means responded to, replied to, or replied by. Question was replied to by Yamadharmaraja. Correct? Tatra. Tatra means what? Okay, that being the context. Now that you have understood the context of the next mantra, let's go to the next mantra. That is the meaning of Tatra. Literal meaning of Tatra means there, right there. That being the context. Let's read this one. Shatanchaika cha hridayasya nadyaham.
Shatam chaika cha hridayasya nadyah.
Tasam murdhanam abhinisritaikam.
Tasam murdanabhinihi sutraika.
Tasam murdhanam
Tasam murdanam
abhinisritaika.
abhinishruteika.
Tayordhvamayan.
Sorry.
Tayordhvamayan.
Tayodhvamayan
Amritatvameti.
amrutatvameti
Vishwanganya.
vishvamvanya
Utkramane bhavanti.
utkamena bhavanti.
Shatam chaika cha hridayasya nadyah.
Shatam chaika cha hridayasya nadyah.
Tasam murdhanam
Tasam murdhanam
abhinisritaika.
abhinishruteika.
Tayordhvamayan
Tayodhvamayan
amritatvameti.
amrutatvameti
Vishwanganyaha
vishvam anyah
utkramane bhavanti.
उत्क्रमेण भवन्ति
उत्क्रमणे bhavanti.
उत्क्रमणे भवन्ति
Yeah. So now you can see this particular mantra. Generally in Brahma Vidya, you won't see words like Nadyaha, Chakraha, all these words won't be there. Because it's not relevant to Brahma Vidya. Totally not relevant. So here, let's look at the gist of this mantra. And just like chapter 18 was a diversion in the Bhagavad Gita from the main topic of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, like that, this mantra is also slight diversion. Shankara already explained that to you. The reason for the diversion is what? To glorify Jivan Muktihi, praise Jivan Muktihi. Why should it be? Why should there be praise? What are the? How do you find out the tatparyam of a text? How do you find out what exactly a text is talking about? I give you a book. Some book I give you. How do you know what is that author writing about? You have to look at the preface. You have to look at the conclusion. You have to look at the abstract, and you will have to read the book also, and before figuring out. And what are those things that you use to figure out? What is the tatparyam of a text? What is the content of a text? What is the main purport of the text? Upakramo. Don't worry, don't write this down. Just listen. Upakramopasamharo abhyaso purvatapalam arthavadopapatti cha lingam tatparya nirnaye. All our people have figured it all out. They figured it out. They just squeezed everything out of it. So, Upakrama is abstract. You have to look at the abstract. What is the opening statement? What is the thesis? What is the thesis they want to prove? The author wants to prove. Upakrama. Then Upasamhara, conclusion. What is the conclusion of that book? A textbook. That also you should see. Conclusion. Then what? Upakramopasamharo. Abhyaso. Abhyasaha. Is there any theme that is being repeated? Abhyasa means repetition. Being repeated again and again and again in the book. Okay. That also keep in mind. Apurvata. Apurvata. Is there a benefit that is unique that you cannot get from any other means? That is called Apurvata. Something unique about it. Then Phalam. And what is that benefit? Okay. In the case of Shastram, Apurvata means Anya Pramana Asiddhi. Other Pramanas can't give you that. This is called Apurvata. All my Pancha Pramanaha are useless when it comes to Brahma Vidya. It's useless. So that also is Apurvata. Phalam. Then Arthavadopapatti cha. Arthavadaha. Arthavada means praise. Is there something that is being praised in the text? That praise is coming. Stutaye. Brahma Vidya Phalastutaye. The praise. That also is a linga. That also is an aspect which will help you determine. Okay, Arthavadaha. Upapatti. Are there any reasonings given? Any logical flow? There is logic mentioned. And where does that logic lead you? That also will tell you what is the primary subject matter. Lingam tatparya nirnaye. Like that, there is a shloka which we often use when we study these texts, and then we will try to find out which mantras in this Upanishad. Look at the exercise we can do here. Which mantras in the Upanishad are referring to Upakrama? Upakrama is opening statement. Okay. Like Anyatra Dharma, Anyatra Dharma. Opening statement. Correct? Dve Vidye Veditavye. Indicating there are two kinds of knowledge. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametaha. All these things are there. So, opening statements. And then likewise concluding statement. Then here it is Stuti. And then other logic that was many mantras are talking about Hetu, Hetumat. Just the last two statements we saw. That is all upapatti. Abhyasa is repetition. Yeah, many ideas are repeated. Brahma Vidya idea is repeated many times. Amritatvameti, like that, many mantras are there. That is phalam. Amritatvameti is phalam. Phalam. Like this, we can categorize. So here, come back to the mantra here. Hridayasya nadya. So there are all these nadis that are emanating from the heart. Nadis. Nadis, we don't know what the English translation is. Okay. Could be nerves, it could be anything else also. Lymph nodes, it could be something else. But Swamiji is not specific. He says we don't know. So I also don't know what the nadi is. Nadi is that science. Nadi Vidya, people know it. Okay. So definitely. So it's well known. Just not by me. Not known by me. So nadi. Hridayasya nadyaha. Okay. And then, which is talked about even in Upanishads, by the way. Like here briefly mentioned, more details given in Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay, Nadi Vidya is there. Some little bit of Nadi Vidya. Then, what nadis are these? How many nadis? Shatam cha ekacha. Shatam is 100. Ekacha is plus 1. Add 1 to 100. This kind of language you'll find only in Sanskrit. Hey, why don't you say 101? No, I am saying 101. Shatancha ekacha. That is 101. So, again, the 101. There also you said and only you said. You don't have one particular word without and. Is there 101? I don't think there is one. So here also same thing. Shatancha ekacha. Okay. There are lakhs and millions of nadis. Okay. Prashnoparishad talks about many nadis. But among those nadis, there is this 101 nadis. Okay. Tasam murdhanam. And among those very important 101 nadis, tasam madhye, among them, there is this eka nadi. Eka is Strilingam. No, nadi is Strilingam. Therefore, eka nadi. One particular nadi is there. He doesn't say what it is. But Sushumna nadi, we know that. He's referring to that. The Sushumna nadi is very critical. And Murdhanam abhinisrita. That nadi emanates from the heart, through the heart, and then through the neck, through the head, it goes up like this. Abhinisrita emanates from that, departs from that. Abhinisrita eka nadi, that particular nadi is there. And Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam bhukam tattvam pushan apavrunu Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. Like that, there is one mantra that I learned in my yoga class. My yoga teacher taught me that mantra. Every time before we start the yoga session, we chant. Is that goes on everywhere in every yoga class? No, this mantra is chanted. Hiranmayena Patrena. Okay. So there also that golden orb, Hiranmayena Patrena, solar disc. So this talking about Brahmarandra and all is there. So may you help me concentrate all my karma, let it yield all my karma, let it yield the desired result. And generally, they will interpret this not as Brahma Vidya. It is Vidya, Nadi Vidya. It is the Vidya of departing, concentrating the pranas and making it depart through the Sushumna Nadi. So important it is. Because only then I can go to Brahma. So therefore, that prayer is talking about that. All right. Then what? Tayoho urdhvam ayan amrtatvam eti. Illa tayoho, sorry. Taya urdhvam. Taya urdhvam. Taya nadya. Taya sushumnaya nadya. Through that sushumna nadi, urdhvam ayan, proceeding upwards in the upward direction. Urdhvam ayan. And then having gone up, what happens to that person? Amritatvam eti. Amritatvam, immortality. That's what everybody wants. And so Amritatvam eti. And of course, this will be apekshika amritatvam, relative immortality. because Brahmaloka again is there. Another birth is there after this. So that means it is not literally immortal. So, but relatively immortal because that loka is what? Na tatratvam na jaraya bibedhi. So it's good. It's a good world to go to. Then what? Vishwang anyaha utkramane bhavanti. Anyaha, what about all the other nadis? Are they useful or not? Yes. Vishwang. Vishwang means, Shankara will say, Nana Gataya. Means it is all going in many, many different directions. This one is going straight up. Sushumna Nadi. Everything else is going in different direction. Don't ask. Because there are lakhs and lakhs. Okay, 100 extra is there, which may take you to better lokas. But beyond that, many nadis are there. And anyaha, what happens? Utkramane bhavanti. It will end up in taking another birth and leading towards punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So that samsara will be perpetuated. That is what he's saying about the other nadis. Okay. So now you can see how different this mantra is. Okay. And suddenly he's talking about this nadi for the Saguna Brahma Upasakaha, answering Nachiketa's question also. All right. Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvastaha. This is 14th chapter, shloka number 18. You may want to make a note. 14-18. Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvastaha Madhye Tishtanti Rajasaha Jaganya Gunavrittisthaha Adho Gachanti Tamasaha. We saw that there also. So that's same here. Urdhvam Gachanti. Then Rajasaha Tamasaha. I was talking. Shukla Krishna Gati, we also mentioned that, 826. Then Lalita Sahasranam of the other day, Premaji was talking about it. So that mantra also relevant to mention here. We talked about that Brahma Granthi Vibedini, right? Shloka number 38. Mooladharai Kadilaya Brahma Granthi Vibedini Manipuranta Rudita Vishnu Granthi Vibedini. One more is there. Agnya Chakrantara Alasta Rudra Granthi Vibedini. Some of you had ideas about all these granthis. So those things can be mentioned here. All right. That's the essence of this mantra. You know, so in Moolam class, see, there are two kinds of Upanishad courses, right? One is a course where we don't study the Bhaashyam at all. That explanation will be like what I explained just now. That is called Moolam. Bhaashyam means, hey, what does Shankara talk about? Let's read the Bhaashyam. Let's study the Bhaashyam. This is Bhaashyam. So, you can tell me, see, after Kathopanishad, I have to do something. At least for my sake, I have to do something. Okay. You all might say, enough is enough, sir. Thank you very much. I feel so blessed to know you. You can say all songs of praise you can sing about me. And then quietly you may walk off. But I don't know. I can't do that. My whole survival is based on this only. And so I am going to teach whether people are there or not. And so you can tell me whether you want to have another Upanishad with Shankara Bhaashyam or Upanishad without Bhaashyam, which I don't prefer at all because I need to be in touch with the Bhaashyam. So I'm telling you my preference already, etc. You can give me that feedback afterwards, after we complete. Anyway, let's read the Bhaashyam. Shatam cha
Shatam cha
Shata Sankhya sorry, Shatam Sankhya
Shata Sankhya
Eka cha
Eka cha
Sushumna Nama
Sushumna Nama
Purushasya
Purushasya
Hridayat
Hridayat
Vinisritaha
Vinisrutaha.
Nadyaha.
Nadyaha.
Shiraha.
Shiraha.
Put a full stop there. So, Bhagavan Bhashyakara is beginning to explain this Shatam Cha, etc. So, Shatam Cha means Shankara is making it clear. Shata Sankhya means numbering 100. That is the meaning of Shata Sankhya numbering 100. And what is numbering 100? Nadyaha. Nadyaha. So he's going to say later. Nadyaha is equal to Shiraha. It's a synonym. Shiraha is a Shira is a synonym for Nadi. Now, the Shira means immediately the head comes to our mind. Head also is called Shiras, but that is Shiras. Here it is Shira, Nadi, Shira, but there it is Sakaranta Pullingam. Sakaranta Napumsakam Pullingam, Shiras. Therefore, it is like Manas. So, Manaha, Manasi, Manamsi, neuter gender, like that. Shiraha, Shirasi, Shiramsi. Head. Okay, keep that in mind. So here it is not Shiras, it is Shira, Akaranta Strilingam Shira. Okay, they are what? They are numbering 100. Shata Sankhya and Ekacha plus one more Ekacha. And Shankara is explaining Shushumna Nama. One more called this Nadi called Shushumna Nadi. And Hridayat Vinisritaha. From the heart, it is Vinisritaha. It is emanating out from the heart. It is like a hub, the bicycle, the wheel has a wheel. The wheel is there, hub is there right in the middle. And just like there are spokes emanating from the hub, reaching out to the wheel, like that, the nadis are all emanating from the heart, springing out of the heart, diverging away from the heart, from the hub. Hridayat. Then Shankara is saying Purushasya Hridayat. Don't imagine anything, just heart, literally heart, and Purushasya, Manushasya, of that human being. All right. Tasam Madhye. Okay, we have not read this. We need to read this. Let's read that part. Tasam Madhye.
तासां मध्ये
Murdhanam
मूर्धानं
Hitva
भित्त्वा
Abhinisrita
अभिनिसृता
Nirgata
निर्गता
Sushumna Nama
सुषुम्ना नाम
Taya
तया
Antakale
अंतकाले
Hridaye
हृदये
Atmanam
आत्मानं
Vashikritya
वशीकृत्य
Yojayet.
योजयेत्
Girin
Yeah.
Eka, Guruji. Nirgata
Guys,
Eka Sushumna.
Nirgata, okay, here Eka is missing in Gita Press. And
Because that is important. One leaves. That is the one.
are you saying Eka is mentioned? Is it mentioned?
ഇതില് ഏക്കാ ഇല്ലയോ?
No, in PDF there is no Eka.
Okay, so let's leave it out. Don't bring words that are not there. Okay, leave it out. In Gita Press, it's not there, and you have confirmed it is not there in the PDF also. Eka is understood, correct. What he's saying is correct, but it's not there in the Bhaashyam. Okay. All right. It's understood, yes. So, Tasam Madhye, among these 101 nadis, Tasam Madhye, unke beech mein means not right in the middle, not that kind of beech mein. And among them, among all the people, Sri Rama is there. My favorite student, Sri Rama, is there among all the students. Like that, we say. So, Tasam Madhye, then what happens? Rasa Madhye, there is a particular nadi called Sushumna Nama. You can put within brackets nadi. Sushumna Nama nadi. Asti Vartate. There is a nadi called Sushumna Nama nadi, which he already indicated earlier, but he is now completing the sentence here. Sushumna Nama nadi. What happens? Murdhanam Bhitva. Murdhanam Bhitva. Murdhanam means the skull, top of the skull. It's called Murdha, Murdha, top of the skull. Bhitva, just separating from the skull, Bhitva, splitting the skull, Bhitva. Okay? Abhinisrita, Shankara is explaining that as Nirgata. Nirgata means departing the body by splitting the skull. Through the skull, it just departs. Like that he's saying. Okay. Taya. Taya means Taya Sushumna Nadya. Taya, that through that Nadi. Shankara is saying now, there is a lot here that we have to supply. Yama is just briefly telling all these things. But then Antakale is understood obviously. So Taya, Antakale at the time of death, when the Upasaka is focused, remember that mantra is this one, Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Prayana Kale Manasa Chalena Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chaiva. All that Shankara is remaining here. Antakale Hridaye Atmanam Vashikritya. In the heart, you have to bring all the prana. And then Bhur Madhye Prana Maveshya Samyak in the 8th chapter also was there. And so all that has to be brought. So Vashi Atmanam. Atmanam means what? Hey, Sukshma Shariram. The whole process is for getting the Sukshma Shariram. All my pranas focused from the heart. I need to bring it out to Bhur Madhye. That is what he's saying. Vashikritya, mastering that. I have to bring all of them together. I should not let these pranas go in their own different directions. No, bring them all. Like all these horses or cows that you are grazing, you have to bring them all together. Like that. Vashikritya, controlling all these pranas and quietly withdrawing it out from the heart, bring it out to the upwards like this through the Taya, Sushumna, Nadya. Okay, that process is being described here. Yojayet. Yojayet. Focus on this. Bring them all together. Yojayet. May you do. May you. May the person. May you means what? May that person. That, which person? Brahmaloka Bhak. Correct? Brahmaloka Bhak. That person, right? Yojayet. Pulling them together. Then Taya Nadya. Okay, that we have to read. That we can do later. And so I think this is a good stopping point. So you can see where it's going. That Nadi, that yoga. This is very popular among the people who are practicing yoga. And so that is being talked about here. And we'll continue this discussion in the next class. Okay. Om Apadamapahārtāram Dhātāram Sarvasampadām Lokādhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobharahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवादः.